an evolving phenomenon, largely driven by the interplay of government regulations, economic imbalances, and consumer demand. It's not a single monolithic entity but rather a collection of unofficial and often illicit activities that cater to needs not met by official channels. Here's a detailed explanation. 1. What is a black market? At its core, a black market emerges when government interventions or policies create an imbalance between supply and demand for a particular product, service, or factor. This imbalance generates opportunities for individuals and groups to operate outside official regulations, often for profit. In China, this has historically been influenced by factors like strict foreign exchange controls, limitations on certain goods, and the desire for access to items or services otherwise restricted. 2. Historical context and evolution. Black markets have a long history in China, particularly during periods of strict economic control. Early period, pre-1996. During the early years of the People's Republic of China, and especially before 1996, the government maintained tight control over foreign exchange. This led to a thriving black market for foreign currency, primarily US dollars. Sources of supply included overseas Chinese remittances, foreign visitors, and domestic enterprises with excess foreign currency. Demand came from smugglers seeking foreign goods and individuals looking to exchange RMB for foreign currency. The government's centralized control and unified operations policy on foreign exchange inadvertently fueled this market. Post-1996, and gradual relaxation. After 1996, China gradually reduced foreign exchange restrictions, leading to a significant reduction in the black market for currency. The RMB became fully convertible on the current account, which lessened the need for illicit exchanges. Economic reforms and diversification. As China's economy opened up, the nature of its black market shifted. While currency exchange became less prominent, other sectors emerged, driven by different regulatory gaps and consumer desires. 3. How China's black market operates. The operations of China's black market vary depending on the goods or services involved. Foreign exchange. Supply. Historically, sources included remittances from overseas Chinese, foreign tourists and workers, and domestic enterprises with foreign currency holdings. Over-invoicing imports and under-invoicing exports were also methods to divert foreign exchange from official channels. Demand. Smugglers, individuals seeking to acquire foreign goods, and those looking to move capital out of China. Mechanisms. Money brokers, often operating through shell corporations in places like Hong Kong, facilitate the movement of funds, leveraging arbitrage opportunities between onshore and offshore RMB. Illicitly sourced foreign exchange, sometimes linked to criminal activities like drug trafficking, also plays a role. Counterfeit goods. This is a major aspect of China's black market. Counterfeiters thrive by producing imitations of popular brands, ranging from electronics and luxury goods to pharmaceuticals and auto parts. These goods are often sold through informal networks, online platforms, and even seemingly legitimate storefronts. Consumers are often drawn by the low prices and the desire for the latest models and technology, often disregarding the risks or social stigma. Underground finance. Despite a robust official banking system, China has a significant underground financial sector. This includes informal lending. Due to capped interest rates at official banks and a reluctance of state institutions to lend to small private businesses with poor credit histories, gray market lenders provide working capital loans at much higher interest rates. These institutions, though technically illegal, are often established and play a crucial role in providing financing to those excluded from the formal system. Wealth management. Some individuals and groups pool money to invest in ventures or offer higher deposit interest rates than official banks, attracting those seeking better returns. Smuggling. This remains a persistent aspect, especially for goods that are heavily taxed, restricted, or prohibited. Smuggling routes often originate from neighboring regions like Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan, bringing in high-demand consumer goods. Other illicit activities. Like any black market globally, China also sees trade in narcotics, wildlife products, and other illegal items. 4. Main goods and services traded. Counterfeit goods. A vast array, including luxury brands, handbags, watches, electronics, phones, accessories, clothing, pharmaceuticals, auto parts, and toys. Foreign currency. Historically, US dollars were the most common, driven by exchange controls. Smuggled consumer goods, high-value or restricted foreign durable goods. Informal financial services, loans, deposits, and investment pooling. Restricted or prohibited items. Narcotics, some wildlife products, e.g., ivory, and other contraband. 5. Impact on the Chinese economy. The black market has a multifaceted impact on the Chinese economy. Economic leakage. It diverts economic activity and revenue away from official channels, leading to lost tax revenues for the government. Distortion of data. The unofficial nature of black market transactions makes it difficult for authorities to accurately assess the true scale of economic activity. Consumer risk. Goods traded on the black market often lack quality control, leading to potential health and safety risks for consumers, e.g., fake pharmaceuticals, unsafe toys. Undermining rule of law. The existence and tolerance of black markets can erode the integrity of public institutions and legal frameworks, facilitating trade and investment. Historically, in some historical contexts, particularly when official channels were highly restrictive, the black market paradoxically provided a mechanism for Chinese consumers to access foreign goods and for businesses to obtain financing that would otherwise be unavailable. This tolerated black market could, in some ways, support economic activity by meeting unmet demand. Corruption. Black market activities often involve bribery of officials and can foster corruption. Innovation. Unintended. In some cases, the gray areas or tolerance of informal economic activities, especially in the early reform era, allowed for a degree of entrepreneurialism and experimentation that contributed to economic growth, particularly in regions like Wenzhou. In conclusion, China's black market is a dynamic system that has adapted to the country's economic and regulatory landscape. While its historical role in foreign exchange has diminished with liberalization, new facets, particularly in counterfeit goods and informal finance, continue to thrive, posing ongoing challenges and presenting unique characteristics within the broader Chinese economic context.
You've asked for an addition to the explanation of China's black market, specifically regarding its current state and recent trends. This is a crucial aspect, as the black market is constantly adapting to China's evolving economic and regulatory environment. Here's an updated explanation with recent insights. 6. Current state and recent trends in China's black market. While the historical foreign exchange black market has largely diminished due to liberalization, China's black market remains active, driven by new pressures and opportunities. Several key trends define its current landscape. Data black market, a growing concern. Scale. The black market for data in China has thrived, reaching a significant scale, estimated at 150 billion Chinese yuan in 2021. This involves the illicit trading of personal information, corporate data, and other digital assets. Drivers. The vast amount of data generated in China, combined with regulatory gaps in the value of data for targeted advertising, fraud, and other purposes, fuels this market. Government response. Beijing has recognized the chaotic situation and has been cracking down on data monopolies, leaks, theft, and misuse of citizens' data. A data trading system 2.0 has emerged, aiming for tighter government control and clearer legal boundaries for data exchanges, but the illicit market persists. Persistent counterfeit goods trade. Booming market. The trade in counterfeit goods continues to boom in China, with counterfeiters becoming increasingly sophisticated. Consumer behavior. Consumers are often driven by the desire for the latest models and technology at low prices, showing less concern about social stigma or product risks associated with illicit goods. Supply chain resilience. Counter-piracy efforts face challenges in completely halting the proliferation of counterfeiters in their growing market, often leveraging complex supply chains. Underground finance and capital outflows. Informal lending. The informal lending sector remains significant, providing crucial capital to small and medium-sized private businesses that struggle to access financing from state-controlled banks due to stricter credit requirements and capped interest rates. These gray market lenders fill a vital gap. Wealth management. Unregulated wealth management products and informal investment pools continue to operate, often offering higher returns than official banking products, attracting individuals seeking better yields. Illicit capital outflows. Despite capital controls, illicit outflows of money from China remain a concern. This is often driven by individuals and businesses seeking to bypass restrictions, diversify assets, or move funds out due to economic uncertainties, or a desire for greater financial freedom. Chinese criminal groups are also increasingly involved in global money laundering, displacing traditional players in some regions. Smuggling and contraband. Luxury goods and restricted items. Smuggling of high-value consumer goods, often from regions with lower tariffs like Hong Kong, continues to cater to demand for foreign products. Wildlife trafficking. Despite bans, the trafficking of wildlife products, e.g. ivory to China, saw an intensification in 2023 following the lifting of COVID-19 travel restrictions, highlighting the demand for such illicit goods. Narcotics. While China maintains strict drug laws, criminal groups, including triads, remain involved in drug trafficking, adapting to changing market dynamics, e.g., fentanyl precursor smuggling. Black market for license plates, regional/specific. Urban restrictions. In major Chinese cities like Beijing, where vehicle ownership is controlled through lottery systems to combat congestion and pollution, a black market for license plates has emerged. These plates, though theoretically non-transferable, are effectively traded through various illicit means, reflecting a demand for immediate car ownership over waiting for official allocations. Impact of COVID-19 and economic slowdown. Mixed impact. The COVID-19 pandemic and subsequent economic slowdown had varied effects. While some formal sectors faced significant disruption, the black market's adaptability likely allowed it to persist, and in some areas potentially even expand as people sought alternative means of income or access to goods/services. Consumer sentiment. Lingering economic pressures, including property market issues and weak consumer sentiment, might subtly influence the black market by driving some consumers towards more affordable, albeit illicit, alternatives. In essence, China's black market has evolved from being primarily about foreign exchange to a more diversified landscape. It now heavily involves digital illicit activities, data, continues to be a major hub for counterfeit goods, and serves as a vital, albeit illegal, artery for informal finance and capital movement, all while adapting to the ongoing regulatory crackdowns and economic shifts within the country.